Is it possible to have a conservative message on policy and attract millennials?
Yes, I think so.
What is it? Articulate the case.
One, on the fiscal side, I think millennials look at this $22 trillion debt, although nobody's paying much attention to it.
Yeah, I seem to remember Republicans not liking the debt. And now all of a sudden, right, aren't we this has been an extraordinary year as far as that goes.
But I think they look at that and say, we're going to inherit this, you're not doing anything in that regard. On the climate issue, I think there are conservative policies. The carbon dividend, a carbon tax. As Republicans, the gospel we preach as conservatives is, if you don't like something, if you want less of something, tax it. And you can do that in a way if it's revenue neutral, and there are a number of good proposals out there.
Yeah.
I introduced a bill when I was back in the House, introduced a similar bill in the Senate for a carbon tax or revenue neutral carbon tax.
Well, supporting the environment actually has a legacy within the Republican Party. It was, after all, Richard Nixon who created the EPA, right? I mean, the reality is your party has been pro-environment in the past.
And I think, the conservative message has always been limited government, economic freedom, free trade.
Right.
We live in a globalized society. Millennials know that better than anybody.
Right.
And this notion that we're going to, take a position that we have not taken in the past, this protectionist kind of nativist view, that doesn't go well with millennials.
Right.
So I think that there are messages that we can come with, but we've got to start with, one, realizing we need to have a more inclusive brand, and we just don't have that right now. It's just drill down on the base and see if it'll work for one more election cycle.
Yeah.
And one, I don't think it will. But two, if it does, that's about it. And you look at the demographics here and the change here in Texas, we're experiencing the same thing in Arizona.
Right.
And it's tough to see how this party lasts and remains a political force in the future.